Hello, everyone. This is the Paint the Town Red podcast, and I am your host, Chance Bowen. Today, we have quite a bit of news, so we're going to run through it. Consumer confidence weakens in September. The, the Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Index fell to 94.2, down to 3.6 points from August, as Americans grew more pessimistic about jobs and business. Could it maybe be because the US government lied to us about the amount of jobs by 911,000 jobs in just 1 year? I mean, yeah, you think? Let's see. Financial market slips as government shutdown looms. Investors are jittery. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq declined amid fears that federal shutdown could disrupt economic data releases. Some reports say that the every day that the government is shut down, we lose 1% in GDP. Now that seems like a lot to me. So I don't know if that's true. I need to make sure that that is 100% true. Maybe you could look it up. But that's what I just read. So that's pretty interesting. And we're in the middle. If we don't get something struck within 48 hours, if we don't have an appropriations deal, if the Democrats won't move and Trump won't move and they're too stubborn, then we will go down that path. I was wondering though, it's like, you only get paid every 2 weeks, maybe even once a month for a lot of jobs. And so if we go like 2 weeks, how would anyone go without money if, they're not being paid? They're still getting paid. Their time is on the books. They just can't move the money at that moment. So I don't know. I guess they do need money daily for certain things. Probably, I'm assuming. It's such a big ship. I'm sure there's somewhere where we need money daily, but Labor Department to suspend key data if shutdown hits. If shutdown occurs, the U.S. won't publish in September employment reports, a crucial input for Fed and market decisions. So we reported falsely by a ton of jobs. Now we're going to use the government shutdown to not report the jobs at all. Okay. Trump and Hegseth proposed military overhaul in a high-profile address. Former President Trump and commentator Pete Hegseth. Oh, it says commentator. Wait, commentator. Yeah. Pete Hegseth. Laid out sweeping reforms eliminating what they view as progressive political programs, promoting merit over diversity initiatives, and reasserting traditional military ethos. Today is going to be a big pro Trump day, even though I have spoken out against Trump and some of his actions. He's doing a lot of things right now that I really am cheering for, and I hope I'm not getting fooled again, like with the H-1B visas. But other than that, there is a lot of good things that are happening. I'm seeing a lot of differences with him recently, especially with the tariffs and stuff. Even the conservatives are giving him crap about this tariffs, but they don't understand the global market like Trump does, right? Supreme Court allows Trump to withhold $4 billion in foreign aid. The court sided with the administration's request to block the release of $4 billion in aid funds, aligning with Trump America First posture. Now that is what I'm talking about. I looked into where the $4 billion are going to, and it's to sub-Saharan Africa and all the Middle Eastern countries. And it's for like, AIDS and HIV and stuff like that, which look, hey, I'm Christian. I want to help out the world as much as we can. But we got to help out our own people right now, right? And that's just 4 billion out of all the cuts that Trump has proposed to cut from foreign stuff. It equals up to 20 billion if he gets everything that he wants to get done. That's a good chunk. We gotta be thankful for that, right? I mean, you gotta clap when he does something right, and in my opinion, I feel like this is something we can all appreciate on the right, no matter if you're far right or if you're conservative right or if you're whatever you are. You're for the free market. Come on. I mean, we have to help ourselves, right? And a lot of the and if you think, well, no, actually, I'm Christian and I want to help out these countries. Wait, hold on. They're not really helping these people. It's a scam. They're using the money and it's getting siphoned to NGOs that then goes into Democrat campaigns. Okay? So before you just go and like, no, we need to help these people. Okay, maybe we do, but we need to help ourselves first so then we can help more people, right? I mean, that's just common sense. Trump imposes steep tariffs on imports. On October 1st, the U.S. will levy 100% duty on branded drugs, 25% on heavy trucks, part of an effort to protect U.S. manufacturing and invoke national security concerns. Wow, the battle wages on with these tariffs, and I am liking it. 100% tariffs branded drugs. Isn't that great? You know what's really great that I really like is there's 100% tariff on a bunch of things, but one of them being foreign made films. So, you know, when you get on Netflix and you're like, oh, God, it looks like a really good movie. It sets you up and you're going, oh my gosh, this is going to be great. And then you click on it and then their mouths are moving, but they're talking like this and they're like talking and their mouths are moving. And you're like, wait, what's going on? Oh, they're a different language. Oh, ruined it. Ruined the movie. There is some movies that are good though that are still like that and they're like Korean for some reason. But other than that, they all suck. And so he's putting 100% tariff on this. So maybe we'll see a decrease in those movies on Netflix. But I think we all can appreciate that, I hope. The visa's crackdown spurs offshoring to India. New, much higher application costs for H-1B visas are pushing companies to move critical operations to India, which is already thriving as a tech service center. Okay, so yes, the H-1B visas are moving to a one-time fee. And Nick Fuentes covered this and said, oh, got you again, right? Trump didn't do a good thing. He actually did a better thing for them. But it is causing there to be, it is more expensive in the long term, right? Because it would take 20 years for that to be the same price as what it was. So unless they stay here 20 years, then it would be more expensive. And it's enough of a hit for them to want to reinvest into their own country, which is India. So great. Let's make India great again, right, guys? I mean, that's awesome. And now India will be the service tech center of the world. Isn't that excellent? I'm so proud of India. Man, I love India. India's great. I can't wait till all those that they just get those tech centers up and running and just, you know, call us all day long from across the ocean, right? Ukraine or from Canada, because they'll probably just go to Canada. They're all libtards up there. That's where they'll probably just go. You know, and Canada's nuts. They've got gang wars going on of Indians in Canada, like giant gang wars. And the rappers' names are like Moose and Elk and like Wolf, and they're Indian. I mean, hey, whatever. It's their Canada. Let them do what they want. We're gonna take them later on, okay? When my generation gets in power, Canada, look out because we're coming for you, okay? We're taking you over. Europe says it's no longer at peace with Russia. Really? You aren't? I didn't know that. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, big gay wad, big nerd, who looks like didn't even live life. He looks like he lived with his parents his whole life, warned that while Europe isn't officially at war, it's no longer in peace, endorsing use of frozen Russian assets to support Ukraine, per The Guardian. And Trump kind of touched on that with them in there saying, no, you're paying Russia money, but you're also freezing Russia's assets and you're going to take those as, down payments for the loans you're giving to Ukraine. So you're not getting nothing out of it like the US is. Let's see. Simultaneously, Russia launched a drone strike killing a family in Ukraine in the Sumy region, and Zelensky proposed a regional air defense initiative per The Guardian. So they're at war. They're at war. And we are getting one side of the story. And I talk to people who listen to Fox News all day. Big surprise, Fox News doesn't tell me the truth? No, they're owned by the Jews. They're owned by BlackRock. Stop watching Fox News. They shift every single story in the direction that benefits BlackRock. It's so easy and simple to see. U.S. Special Envoy Putin knows he can't win. At the Warsaw Security Forum, U.S. Envoy Keith Kellogg says Putin, in his heart, likely recognizes Russia cannot win this war. Meanwhile, a Russian drone attacks in Dnipro killed and wounded dozens. So they're just like wreaking havoc on Ukraine. Ukraine can't really do anything about it. And then all we hear is, well, but Ukraine attacked them back. No, Russia is winning, you guys. Okay? And if you don't believe me, let's look at this next story about a right-wing media and disinformation in Ukraine coverage. Prominent right-wing influencer has been promoting media narratives skeptical of Ukraine, often aligning with an echoing Russian message. A recent video series titled Zelensky Unmasked, founded by Russian interest gained traction among conservative audience per the AP News. Also, German influencer Alina Lipp is gaining attention for her pro-Russian coverage, portraying the invasion narrative through a lens favorable to Moscow. Look at that. And you know what? She has her bank account frozen and she had to flee to Russia. The majority of Ukrainians fled to Russia. The majority of Ukrainians now support Russia. Ukraine is being ousted for killing its own people in the area 8 years prior to the war. On top of that, not just Alina, but her parents also got their bank accounts frozen. You know why? Because Germany is not a free nation, okay? It's not a free nation. They are getting their bank accounts frozen. They are not able to exist. They had to flee to Russia to be safe from Germany, who we are backing, who Fox News tells you are the good guys, right? Are you getting it? Yeah, it's interesting to me when you see these things. I mean, we know this. We know in every single war in all of history, propaganda is a major factor of war. So why would you not look at both sides of the coin? Why would you only look at what the US Fox News is saying? Why would you do that? That's dumb, right? Wouldn't you think? Don't you think that? But then you look at me and I'm like, my narrative's not the same as everybody else's, so you think I'm dumb and that I'm uneducated. I mean, that's pretty funny, really, if you ask me. No, think for yourself. Be a man. It's really what it comes down to. Just be a man, right? Be like Alina Lipp and her family. Tell the truth. Anyway, that is it for today. Nothing else is really going on. I guess I could go into kind of what we need to do in order to fix some of these issues. Because although Trump is doing a lot of good things right this minute, he's not doing a lot of good things as well, like supporting people like Israel and pretty much being sold out completely to the Jewish oligarchy that owns the US. There are things we can do to take back the power because look, we can't have a civil war and go in and just like kill people, right? We can't do that. That's terrible. And I don't advocate for that. I'm a Christian. I don't want anyone to die. And even people that I don't like, I don't want them to die. Not at all. Never have I ever said that. People I talk to act like, yeah, you do. It's like, man, what makes you think I want to do that? When have I ever said that? When have I ever insinuated that? So, I guess I have to say it outright that I don't. I figured that'd be pretty clear, but I guess I'll tell you now, I don't want to do that. We have to win politically. How do we win politically? You have to get involved in your local party, okay? There's a two-party system in this nation, Republican, Democrat. Pick one, go take over your city, take over your county, take over your region, take over your district, your little district that you have. Take those over. Get political power and start getting in Christian, pro-white people who benefit all Americans and don't just benefit their little neighborhood, right? Don't just benefit the Indian people like what we have in our city right now. You don't want that. You want people who are going to benefit Americans, right? That are American, that love this nation. That's who we want in office. And I'll even say it. Maybe they're Hispanic or maybe they're not white. I'm not saying they have to be white. I'm just saying typically white people look after Americans and other groups of people look after their own group of people. Why? Because they don't feel like they're American. That's why. So let's get in office people who love America and want to help America. Okay? How do you do that? You start by going to your central committee meetings for your party. You call up your local party, ask when it is, get an email, figure out, start showing up, start getting involved as much as you can, knocking on doors, raising money, going on the news, getting into PACs, getting into clubs, outreach dinners, events, parties. Have you seen Batman? Batman kind of takes over his city, right? He like gets involved in politics and he's helping out campaigns and he's doing this and he's undercover fighting crime at night. That's what you got to be. You got to be like Batman, okay? That's what we all have to be. We've got to be like Batman. And here's the thing. What's good about this? We're young. We're motivated. We've got a lot of time on our hands. We've got a lot of time ahead of us. This is our country to win. If we win it now, we have it for forever. I mean, we're gonna have it for a super long time. Help the next generation get in office, like the millennials or the Gen X. They're smart. They're good guys. Help them get into office. If you're a guy who's very like pro, you're like free Palestine type guy and you're like anti-Israel, okay, maybe maybe go on the Democrat side and try to take them over. I mean, they're a lot easier to convince. If you go into a Republican meeting and you start saying free Palestine, you're going to get some really funny looks. It's going to be hard to convince them. Rightfully so, but we got to start waking up everybody, and it starts with your local region. That's what it starts with. It starts doing local work. If you have any questions about that, contact me. I would love to sit down with you or call you, text you, whatever, and we can actually come up with a little local plan for wherever you are in your region. So, yeah, contact me. We'll come up with a political plan to take over your city like Batman. Like Batman and Robin. Because we have to take our country back. That's what we have to do. We have to start taking our country back. We got to start being American, and we've got to start fighting for what we believe in. And what do we believe in? We believe that the separation of church and state is a lie. We need to empower the church. We need to get rid of the Federal Reserve. We need to reinstate the gold standard and back our US dollar with actual currency and not military force, not by endless wars killing the rest of the world and creating enemies forever. That is what we are for. And you say, well, what is my city council going to do about that? You're right, nothing. But if you do good in city council, you make it to supervisor, or you make it to the county region. You make it to the county region, you make it to the state, you make it to the state, you make it to Congress, you make it to Congress, you make it into the conversation about federal acts and things like this. Who knows? You may meet like a random talent somewhere and you go, oh my gosh, this guy's like incredible. And you run him for Congress, he's a superstar, and boom, you're in power. So that is what we have to do. Like I said, give me a call and we'll come up with a game plan. This is the Paint the Town Red podcast. We hope you guys have a wonderful week. Sorry I didn't post yesterday. I'm going to post these every day. I didn't post yesterday because I was doing collabs with multiple people and I just didn't have time, okay? So take it easy on me. I'm going to touch bases with you guys at least every day on my podcast. So, when you're on Spotify and you're doing things, you can always just click my episodes on a daily basis and just get up to date on the news, what's going on, my perspective on it, what we should be doing, and also a little motivation to get off your butt. A lot of people are out of politics, right? They live in the nation and they're like, I don't care, left wing, right wing, they're both gay. And they're right, but doesn't mean you can't get involved. I think the Republicans are gay. I think the Democrats are gay. I don't like them. Matter of fact, you know what I feel good? I feel good when Republicans and Democrats are mad at me. That's when I'm like, yay, I feel good. When everybody's mad at me, when the blacks are mad, the Hispanics are mad, the Indians are mad, the Democrats are mad, the Republicans are mad. That's when I'm like, okay, I'm doing something right. Right? That's how I feel. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that's like that. I guess I'm just a disagreeable person, I guess. I'm like the opposite of what you're supposed to be in politics, right? In politics, you're supposed to want to talk to people and make friends and alliances and not burn any bridges and da-da-da. Not me. No. I want to argue. I want to fight. I want to scream. I want to get mad and say, you're all wrong. We got to take our nation back. We're owned by the Jews. And it's as simple as that. Right? So a little motivation for your day as well is what I will be giving. And also we can start coming up with solutions. And I'm always available to chat with you. I always would like you to message me, call me, do whatever. If you're in my local area, you better be messaging me. Because if I see you in public and I know that you're not involved, that you missed the YR meeting, or that you missed getting involved in politics, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to call you out and say, what are you doing? Our country, our city is sinking. We have murals being drawn in our town all over, and they're pink and gay and women with no clothes on, and it's just disgusting democratic liberal crap. And you're sitting there driving past it every day at work, and you go, well, I wonder what's going on. You know why? Because the Republicans here have sold out to them. And I can explain to you how. I can explain how the Republicans here have sold out to the Democrats. A lot of people from LA are coming in. The pie is shrinking. The Republicans that are here are going, okay, the pie is shrinking. I'm going to stop fighting for Republican causes, and I'm going to just latch on to everything we have left, and I'm not going to fight anymore. I'm just going to make deals with Democrats left and right, sell out, so that way on my out, I can have a good retirement. And screw this city and screw this county and screw everybody, because I need to make money. And that's what's going on. No victory in mind, no future in mind. All about them, them, them. That's it. We have to be about the future. We have to be about this county, and we have to be about taking back the city. We have to paint the town red. That's what we have to do. How do we do that? We have to organize. We have to take over the young Republicans. We've got to take over the Central Committee. We've got to take over the Democrat side by people on the inside. Alliances. It's hard to do that when everybody's mad at me, though. But oh well. Oh well. That's what I say. This is the Paint the Town Red podcast. We hope you have a wonderful week.